Hello friends, 714 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. The war is continuing with its own momentum. And in southern war zone on Kherson front, Russian army carried out offensive operation at Krinky without any gains. Ukrainian drones are now hitting not only at Krinky bridgehead against Russians but all along the eastern bank of Dnieper River. Zaporizhia front by and large no changes, heavy battle with the help of UAVs and artillery continuing in Orikho sector, and similar is situation in Remivki salient where Russians offensive operations haven't gained anything in last 1 or 2 days. In north on Kupiansk front, Russian army made some gains close to 100 meter from northwest Sinkivka direction in the forest regions. Russians are in fact still consolidating in the area of Tabayivka and Kotliarovka direction, no gains in this direction. In Liman direction, situation is critical for the Ukrainian army, where Russian offensive operations towards Yampolovka and Terny direction have managed close to 800 meters and their operation is continuing. They have almost reached on the outskirts of Terny and Yampolovka. In east where major war activities continuing. In north Soledar Siversk sector, Russian army made some gains towards Bilohorivka and Sperny. On Bakhmut front, Russians strong offensive operation continuing towards Krasnoye and have made some gains. However, no changes towards Bogdanovka or in southern flank towards Klishivka. In Avdiivka, Russians are advancing in private sector near coke plant and Blue Lake quarry and have entered the city, established foothold after taking over the railroad bridge. Fight is also continuing towards Novobakhmutovka, Stepovo, Tonenko and in south Severnoye direction. Ukrainians also took over an important hill called 218 in northeast of Opitne, while they have also advanced in southern flank towards Pervomaisky and Nevelskoye. While Ukrainians have accepted heavy losses in Avdiivka, it is now known that the Russians are advancing at a rapid rate again in most of the fronts, that is in north, south and even from the eastern side. Coming to Marinka, west of it, the Russian army's advance towards Kurakho has almost stopped. However, in south towards Novomykhailivka, Russians have advanced from three directions, that is north, south and even from the east after successfully carrying out breakthrough against the Ukrainian defense lines. Ukrainian supply line for Novomykhailivka through Konstantinivka and Paraskovivka is intact. Interdiction missions are quite heavy from both the sides as before, where Ukrainians shelled in Bryansk, Donetsk, Belgorod region, while Russians have hit many Ukrainian targets in Dnepropetrovsk, Kupiansk, Kharkiv, Kherson, where they claim to have eliminated many mercenaries, and Nikolaev. Palestine Israel Middle East front in North Gaza, hostilities have reduced especially from the IDF sides, though Hamas activities are increasing. In central Gaza, no significant changes, while in southern Gaza towards Khan Yunis, heavy fight continues. Hamas are actively continuing guerrilla warfare and hindering IDF advance, and it is said that they are using now more advanced weapon systems. Lebanon border, Hezbollah attacked several border checkpoints and IDF bases. IDF launched artillery and air strikes in southern Lebanon. West Bank, no changes. The repressive measure of Israeli security forces are continuing. Israel says it is reviewing Hamas peace proposal, which demands complete ceasefire, lift Gaza siege and recognition of Palestinian state. In the meantime, Israel has confirmed that 31 Israeli prisoners of war with the Gazas have been dead. Resistance forces attacked Al Omar oil field in Syria and other US bases, while US and UK continuing their attack in Yemen against the Houthis, while the latter hit 3 ships in Red Sea. Houthis also claim to have hit UK's destroyer in Red Sea 3 times, and whatever damages may or may not be there, but it is confirmed that UK is withdrawing its HMS Diamond. Some other informations: Israeli President Milei is still in Israel. Earlier he had cried over the so-called Hamas atrocities against the Israeli people and army, and he is having lots of talks with Israeli Prime Minister and President. Tucker Carlson, the American famous journalist, has confirmed that he will be interviewing Putin, or might have even done that. And CBS, citing some US intelligence, said that his interview with Putin could be fatal for US presidential election. I wonder how. But there are lots of heartburn in US, and I'm sure that his interview is likely to be blocked in the so-called free world of the USA. Erdogan and Putin meet is likely to look forward for new mechanism for export of Ukrainian grains across Black Sea. Will this talk be limited to the grain export only, that too from Ukraine? I doubt. Hungary Prime Minister Viktor Orban has said that he hopes European Union aid of 50 billion euros to Ukraine will be utilized for safeguarding civilians. He also called for talks between Moscow and Kiev. In the meantime, protests by journalists and people against Argentinian Javier Milei reform is continuing, and farmers, workers, protests in Europe is increasing every day. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister has said that Saudi Arabia will restore diplomatic relation with Israel only if Palestinian state is recognized within its 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital, and conflict in Gaza Strip is ended. That is the reason now we can understand why Antony Blinken in Saudi Arabia, after having met his counterpart, did not give any press statement, neither from the other side. Quite an embarrassing, isn't it? And that's all from my side, friends. See you tomorrow at same time.